What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be starting a mini series on how to cap. Today we're going to focus on basics, capping 101. We're going to start with the simple capping around a garage door. The next video is going to be doing a walk-in door, and so on and so forth. So if you like this content and you want to learn more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, if you guys have any questions or comments on what you would like to see in the next video, or maybe any pieces of the capping process you want to see, drop a comment down below and I'll see if I can answer it, or maybe even make a video on it. So let me know what you think. Let's get started. Okay guys, the first thing I want to do when I cap my windows is I want to get a pad and paper, and I want to measure out what my dimensions are, how long a piece of coil stock I want to cut first so that I don't have a bunch of waste. Then I want to come here and figure out what I want to do for bends, and then I'll actually draw a picture of what the bends will look like. So I'm going to take my tape, get all my measurements, and then my height, then draw myself a picture. So first thing I'm going to do is draw myself a picture of what I want it to look like. In this case, I want to have a hem here, this way, and then back. This is a pretty simple one, so hem, back, and like that. That's it. I know I want this half inch hem, just because I've done this so many times. I like that bend, half inch. Now this measurement here, we're going to have 1.5 inches. We'll double check it in a couple spots. 1.5 inches should work good. Draw myself a little arrow here, 1.5 inches. And then this measurement here, I've got a 2-inch weather strip that's going on here, so I don't have to be real close, but I'll probably go around 6 inches. 6 inches. Okay, now I got an idea of what I want for my bends. I want to get my overall now. So the very longest spot, I think I'm just going to go to right here. I'm going to go 83 1/4. So the length of my piece is going to be 83 1/4. Then hopefully I can get this one and that one out of the same cut of my coil stock. Alright, let's go inside. Alright guys, this is my favorite setup. I've got just 2 sawhorses, a couple links of wood, and then I have a little stop back here to stop my coil stock from rolling off. Just a 2x4, whatever you got on the job site. Then I like to make my measurement here, use my 2-foot square to make sure I keep a consistent straight cut. Then that way I'm ready to just take it right over to my brake. Here's a pro tip for you. If you don't have these, you should. These are called squeegees. We bought these online. I've got actually 3 sets of them now. They're amazing. They're usually used on your 2-foot square to set your angles. I like to use them here too to keep my square nice and square. No pun intended. To keep my square nice and flat on my coil stock. And you can also get these things laser engraved with your logo or name or whatever you want on them. Check them out, squeegee. So now I got my length cut on my piece of coil stock. I'm going to start marking out my marks on the side for where all my bends are at. So I got a 6.5 inches. Then I got 2 halves, so half and half. That should be all my measurements. I got a 6.5 inches, half, then a half back for my hem. That leaves me with 8.5. Alright, so 6.5 inches, half, 8.5. So that's another way you can check your marks to make sure you're still right. 8.5 is my overall there. 8.5 is my overall here. Now this next step you don't have to do, but it depends on if you're flipping your coil stock over or not. I like to just snip mine a little bit, then you can see it a little better. Go down the other side, make the same marks. Alright, let's take it over to the brake and get ready to bend this thing. Okay guys, here's a little pro tip for you. I've made this mistake before where you think you're on your last mark and you put your brake in there, score it, cut it off, then you realize you're not on your last mark. So I like to do this little hoop there. I know that's my last mark. Do it here, and then when I line it up in my brake, I know I'm on my last mark and I don't cut my first piece wrong. Just kind of another step to make sure you don't mess up. All right, gonna score twice. Light bend up, gently push it back down, work it back and forth until it snaps off. So now this is a perfect example of you don't have to have the best of everything all the time. I bought this brake, oh man, it had to have been 15 years ago now. I paid $200 for it. This brake has made me so much money. We also have the big fancy black Max one that Tapco sells also. You can bend steel with that one. This one you can't. I hardly ever bend steel though. It's almost always aluminum. You know, we got the fancy cutoff wheel too. I don't really like them. I'd rather cut with a utility knife. That's just my choice, but you don't always have to have the biggest and the best. All right, first thing first here, we're gonna flip our piece around and I'm gonna bend my hem first. So for those of you that don't know, the hem is just this piece that's going to be, it gives you a nice soft rolled edge on the end of your coil stock, so it's not a sharp edge there. You don't have to do it. I like it. It's just a little nicer. I'm going to show you what that looks like now. Go to my first mark on both sides. Line her up, and we're going to bend it all the way. Take it out. Now as you can see, there's just a little bit of a, that's all the further that'll bend. So now you got to close the brake, set it in here like this, keep a little pressure on it, work it down into that crevice, and then give it another bend. Now you got a nice hem. Nice and flat. Now you got a round soft edge here versus a sharp edge over here. This gets covered up. This one here is exposed, so I want it to be nice. Now we'll go on to bend number 2. Get lined up on both my marks here. We're good. Lock it down. Bend to 90. And here's another pro tip for you. If you want to have your one part of your bend to stay tight to a wall and not off of it, you can underbend it a little bit so that it wants pressure against that wall. So if I bent this a little more, it would be a nice straight 90, but then it might be loose on the wall. So I'm going to leave it a little bit underbent, and then it'll push tight against my brick, and I'll show you what I mean when I put this on the wall. One more bend. Right there. That looks real good. Now this is our piece here. That's what we look like here. That's our profile. All right, let's go out and see how she fits. Now we're just a little too tall, which I was expecting. So I'm going to cut this off here and bend it back about a ½ inch so that when I put my top piece on, you can't see anything in there. It's all gray. So that I can bend this over. Get another little mark here on the other side so I stay square. One little cut here. Set my square here. They do make benders for this. I don't have one on me right now. We have one in the other trailer, but not here. All right. Let's go check it out and see how it looks. Alright, how do I fit here? So this is where I was talking about. If you underbend this a little bit, you can keep this tight to the brick. You want it to be, when you put pressure on it, it stays tight this way, not out. Alright, looks like I need a little bit of a trim down there, and then we're good to go. Okay, got our sides done. Now we're going to work on this top. This is a different profile here. So we're going to get our pad and paper and take some more measurements. So I think we can go with this 6 again. That works good. Then we got what looks to be about it's under a half there, but over here it's a little over a half. So what we want to do is get an average. Sometimes you want to be on the strong side so that you have a little more room instead of not enough, but it just depends on the situation. So I'm going to go 2.5, 3/4, half, then 6. I don't think I want to bend up on here, but maybe I do. I think I will. So I'm going to go half first to give me some more strength, so that as an oil candy across here, it'll have a nice edge on it. So let's draw it so you guys see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go like this: half, 2.5, 3/4, half, and then 6. That's what the profile is going to look like. Then I'll have a hem here. So that'll be half, half, 2.5, 3/4, and then right here will be half, and then this will be 6. So that's our profile that matches up here. We got our measurements here. Let's lay it out. See if we're over 12 or not. If you go over, let's lay this out and see if we're going over 12 or not. If you go over 12, then you got a lot of waste, so I try to keep mine under 12. I've got a little bit of room to play with that weather strip, so if I can back it up a little bit if I need to, I will. All right. Half, half, 2.5, half, 1, 2.5, 3/4, then half, then 6. So I go here to 12. I'm just going to cut this right in half and call it good. I think I'll have enough room there. Alright, let's bring this over and cut her down. These 10-foot lengths get a little harder to work with. Okay, 2 scores. Nice soft bend, work it loose, snap it up. Set your scrap over here. Alright, do our hem first again. Set her down in there. Got our hem. Let's bend that to a 90. These get kind of hard to see because it's dark gray coil stock. Right there. That one's good. This one's good. Clamp it down. Bend to 90. Again, I like to leave mine just a little bit underbent so it's tight. Okay. Bend my 90 again. Looks good. Now we've got to bend our other little half-inch spot on here. Now you can kind of see it starting to take its shape of what it's going to look like. And now we got our half-inch spot here. Should have bent that first. Okay, here's our profile. That fits really good. And you can see what it looks like. Really close, everything's good. This will get covered up with my weather strip. I like it. Now we just need to slide over here, get our measurements to make this all fit. Okay, perfect. These look pretty good. I think they'll be all right. Time to put my weather stripping on. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Otherwise, I'll be dropping another video like this next week on capping regular walk-in doors too. Have a good one.